Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of HTML tags. Well, there are many important tags to cover, so I'll make a detailed video on them later on. But for now, let's focus on the basics of HTML tags. So let's get started. So first we have this set of tags, like the HTML tag, which is the root element of any HTML document. Then we have the head tag. It contains the meta information about the document, like the title and link to other style sheets. Then we have the title tag. So it defines the title of the document. So let me show you the title. So this one is basically the title of the document. Then we have the body tag. So whatever we write inside the tag, it will be visible on the web page. It may be images, tables, or maybe other things. Now I am not explaining about these tags in detail, as in my previous video where I have explained about HTML structure. There I have explained about these tags in deep detail. You can go and watch my video if you want. But for now, let's move on to next set of tags. So to structure our content, we have headings from H1 to H6. So H1 is used for bigger heading, which is of most importance, while H6 is used for smaller headings, which is of least importance. You can also call this as main heading. And we can call this as subheading. Let me show you with example. So I hope you all are noting one thing, that I am writing everything inside the body tag to make this visible on the web page. So let's see. So as you can see, the main heading is of bigger size, and the smaller heading, which is subheading 6, which is basically a 6 tag. Then we have the div tag. This is used as a container for other elements. So let me show you. We can keep elements like p tag or h1 tag, or maybe other elements inside the div tag, as it is a container for other elements. So let's keep a p tag inside this div tag. So let me add CSS part. So don't worry about the CSS. I'm only adding CSS to show you the container, which is the div, how it contains the p tag, which is the paragraph. So as you can see, this one is basically a container, and inside the container we have our content of the p tag. Here you can see the div tag. Then we have the span tag. This is basically an inline element. It is generally used for styling purpose. So for now, don't worry about inline element, block elements. For that I will make a separate video later on. But for now remember this. So what do you mean by styling purpose? So let me show you. So as you can see. So don't get confused about these styling elements. These are basically called as inline styling of CSS. So when you will study about CSS, then you will get to know about this type of styling. But for now, only remember this part. Then we have a button tag. So it is basically used for creating a clickable buttons. So what do you mean by clickable buttons? So let me show you. So as you can see, this one is the clickable button. Then we have the A tag, which is called the anchor tag. It is used for creating hyperlinks. So what do you mean by hyperlink? Basically a clickable link. And it uses href attribute to specify the URL of the page you want to visit. If you don't know about attribute, you can watch my video where I have explained about attributes in detail. So let me give you an example. We need to specify the full URL of the page we want to visit. Suppose we want to visit google.com. So as you can see, when we will click this link, we will get redirected to google.com. So yes, we got redirected to google.com. But there is one more thing. There is one more attribute which is known as target. If we specify blank to this target attribute, now what is happening? When we are clicking this link, google.com is getting opened in the same page like this. But if we specify target is equal to blank, and then if we click this link, we will get redirected to google.com but on a different page. As you can see, we have our HTML page open, and when we click this link, we got to google.com in a new web page, not on the same web page. Next, we have the image tag, which is used for adding images to the web page. This image tag does not have any closing tag. It uses src attribute to specify source or location of the image. Here we have the concept of relative path and absolute path. I'll explain both of them with examples. So let's understand the absolute path now. So suppose if we don't have the image downloaded in our PC right now, we will simply copy the link of that image from google.com or any other website you know. So here basically I am copying the link of this image. I don't have this image downloaded in my PC. So this one is known as absolute path. As we did not have this image downloaded, we copied the link of this image from this website. Now let's understand the relative path. Here we have one image in our system. We will use this image. We will not copy the link of this image, or we will not copy the link from any external website. We simply giving the path of this image that we have in our system. So this one is known as relative path. We simply give a dot and forward slash, and here we can find the path of this image. So as you can see, this one is the relative path. So this was the concept of absolute path and relative path. Then we have the form tag. It is used for creating forms for user input like login or sign up form. Then we have the input tag. This input tag also does not have any closing tag. It defines the input field for the form. It have various types. It means the input field can have various types like text, password, numbers, checkbox, radio, or many more. So let's have example of each. So this is the input field with type text. It means we can write text in this. Similarly, we can have type is equal to password. Then whatever we will write in this input field, it will be encrypted like passwords are encrypted. So I wrote this spelling wrong. So now you can see it is getting encrypted like passwords. Then we can have the next type as checkbox. Here you can see we have a checkbox. Similarly, we can have radio buttons. Then we can have range. So see, now we got a slider to decide the range. So we can have many types of input field. So I'll make a separate video on them and explain them in deep detail. But for now, remember that these have many types. Then we have a video tag. With this tag, we can embed videos on our web page. It uses a source tag to specify the source of the video. So let us have the example of this. So I am providing a relative path of the video. So now you can see the video is very large. So we can have the attributes like height and width to control the dimensions of the video. So now you can see the size of the video got reduced. But there is still a problem. It is not looking like a video, right? It does not have the controls like to play, pause. So we need to provide another attribute that is called controls to make that video look like a video and to give them controls. So now you can see it is looking like a video. Previously it was looking like an image. Now we can mute this video as well, can play and pause this video as well. Then we have an interesting tag, that is the iframe tag. So let me show you with examples. So what we need to do, we need to go to youtube.com and pick any video, open that video and simply have a right click and choose this option, copy embed code, and simply paste that in our HTML inside the body tag. Now you can see we got the video embedded on our website or web page. We can even play this video. We will have the full control of the video that we were having in our YouTube. So interesting, right? Then we have this ULLI. It defines an unordered list. And this li means simply a list. So let us have the example of this. This list, that is list 1, list 2 and list 3 will be represented by bullet points. So as you can see, this one is known as unordered list. Similarly, we can have the ordered list as well. That is OL. So let us have the example of that as well. Now this list 1, list 2 and list 3 will be represented by numbers. That is why it is known as ordered list. So that's a quick overview of some most commonly used tags. In my upcoming videos, I will dive deeper into each of these tags and explore their various uses. So yes, that's all for this video. See you all in the next one. Till then, take care.